Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Powered by Iron Health podcast. Today we're going to be talking all about recovery and what you should be looking at when you're going to a recovery specialist. I'm seeing a lot of them pop up, and I just want to educate you on what they are and what you should really be looking at and being careful with when you're looking at it. So before we dive into it, Iron Health's vision is to create a community that raises the standard of health and wellness. I'm really all in on that vision. There's a lot of crap out there that is just for the bottom line. We're really trying to create the future of healthcare, recovery, and really overall health. We need more health in this world, and I'm hoping we're spearheading that, and thank you guys for watching. So, recovery specialist, right? If you guys are like me, you see it all over social media. Everyone out there is a recovery specialist. Everyone's doing cupping, everyone's doing stretching, everyone's doing all these modalities to the point where now it's becoming an entire new brand. So when I look at things, I look at trends. You have macro trends and micro trends. And we're going to start there. So the first thing is, I hope that this is a macro trend. What do I mean by that? Recovery and keeping your body healthy and preventative care should be a top priority of yours. You shouldn't just be waiting until you have an injury to take care of it, or waiting till you have a sickness to go take care of it. You should be ahead of the curve and focusing on, how can I prevent this? How can I be the best? How can I get out the best from my body before anything else happens? So I'm really hoping that this whole thing, this whole kind of boom, I would say, of the recovery side of things is a macro trend. And I think it is because medicine is advancing. So I'll state that out there first. And if you guys haven't seen any of these recovery places, it's all these places that have kind of cryo, the IV drips, the stretching, saunas. Like, these things are becoming more popular, which is good because, one, there's a lot of research around it, and two, they really do help you. So why wouldn't you stay ahead of the curve, invest in your health, invest your time, your money, and your energy to be better for the future? But every time you see these trends come, you also see these people who try to take advantage of it, or you see these things that pop up who aren't necessarily qualified to be offering recovery services. So I want to kind of dive into the specifics of what you should be looking at, and really, how do you pick what recovery type of modality is correct for you? And it may be a little controversial, some of the stuff I say, but I hope it's not too controversial. One thing I'm seeing in this realm of people focusing more on recovery is really a knowledge gap. What do I mean by that? A lot of people who are going into it might not necessarily have the qualifications necessary to deliver the best qualified recovery services. Okay, and I'll use an example as like a lot of these stretch places coming up. It's interesting to me that these stretch places are as big as they are, because it's very similar to what someone can go to PT and get, at least a good physical therapist in my eyes. But they have a whole model centered around, hey, we're going to stretch people to get them better. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's great to get passive stretch, especially if you don't have an injury, but you got to be careful going down that route if you have any pain. Because if you have pain in that category, some of these stretch therapists, who are great, I'm not saying they're not, they might not have the qualifications to do things correctly, and they could potentially hurt you. So that's one I would be a little careful of. Just understand the knowledge gap. So the first point is really, degrees in this category do matter. And obviously I'm biased, I'm a physical therapist. Anything that comes to orthopedics or the human body, I would say the PTs are probably the top of the spectrum with the chiropractors, the good ones at least. Just because the amount of time, the amount of schooling, the amount of hands-on stuff that we do really gives us the education that allow us not to hurt people and make them better. So that's where I would say degrees matter. I usually say degrees don't matter, but when it comes to something that can potentially hurt you, you have to be very careful. So what does that mean when you pick someone who's a recovery specialist? Look at their credentials, right? Like, understand what their background is. I'm not saying don't go to them, but just understand what their background is and understand your limitations. If you know you have pain or you've had a previous injury, Like, go to someone who's completely qualified in that field to help you get better. There are some great people out there who can do a great job and similar job to PTs, but there's also a lot of them who can really hurt you. So just do your research in that category. If you are really gung-ho on getting a recovery specialist or finding something that you want to do regularly to keep your body maintained, try different things and see what works for you. And I'll use the example of clients that I may see in my clinic. Like, let's say me and Maria, who is in Iron Health as well. When we first started, we would attract different clients. She would see someone, and if they would happen to be on my schedule, maybe they don't like me, or maybe vice versa. And it's not necessarily the knowledge, it's really what works for that person or what they like. So you, as the consumer looking for a recovery type of modality, try different things and see what really is going to work for you. Don't just stick with one, try others. Don't stick with one massage therapist, try a different one. What's going to be the most bang for your buck? What's going to take you to the next level? Everybody's different. You have to know your own specific recovery needs. Finding the right person is everything, okay? Beyond the degrees, beyond everything, you have to really connect with your provider. I've been a PT now for 10 years, almost 10 years. And it's a pretty intimate type of profession, right? My hands are on people. We have that human touch. So you need to make sure you really connect with whoever's going to be your recovery specialist. Like, they should understand your body intuitively, and you got to find them. Find them through the process there. Now, that's more of the hands-on stuff. Like, I truly believe that anyone who is looking at ways to recover, you should be incorporating some sort of manual type of technique into your program, whether it's massage, PT, stretching, chiropractor. There should be some sort of hands-on component to your recovery, because there's different ways to treat your internal structure, but this way really treats the orthopedic side. And you want to maintain it. We're going to live longer. People are going to live a long time. Now, how long can you prevent a knee replacement or a hip replacement? It really depends on how well you keep your body maintained and lubricated. So find someone that really works for you. The other stuff in this recovery boom that I really like is really the saunas are trendy. I mean, they've been around forever, but now they're making a reassurance. There's a ton of research about saunas out there. There's literally studies that say if you have a program of sauna use, you can decrease your overall likelihood of dying. I can share it. We can discuss that on a podcast if you guys are interested. But something like that, think about the positive benefits that brings you in your life. All you have to do is get in a sauna for 20 minutes, a couple times a week, and your life expectancy goes up. That's insane. So this recovery kind of boom, like, I really truly believe it's going to be a macro trend. It's going to change the industry. There's going to be other things that come in where we're looking at blood work, we're looking at what you eat, we're looking about your heart, and we're going to incorporate that to make sure that your life, you have longer longevity, your joints are healthier, you decrease your likelihood of replacements, and you overall just live a better, higher quality of life. Who doesn't want that? So, again, there's a lot of positives with this recovery boom. I also think there's a lot of charlatans out there. So be very careful when you go into this field. Everyone should be doing it. That's my opinion. Just pick your person wisely. Don't just randomly just go pick the first thing that comes up on Google. Do your research, understand what you're getting into. Make it a part of your routine. Don't just do it one-off and then forget it. It's got to be a part of your process. Start to integrate it into your life. Start to plan to live longer, and that starts today. So if you got any value with that, give us a like, follow, share. We're trying to grow this podcast. I want to really start to cater it to what people are saying on it, so comment. Let us know what you want to hear from us. Thanks for watching.